Hi, guys. So I'm showing up today just to have a little chat about the why behind my business. And I don't think we talk about this enough. We talk about the exciting stuff, but we don't always tell the whole story or share the maybe messier side of why we started our businesses or share like the scary side or whatever it is. And so today there might be crying tissues at hand, just to warn you. And there also might be swearing. So watch it if you have kids around you. So I'm just going to jump in and just be really super honest with you guys. Like, I moved from the US to the UK. We got married. It was like a whirlwind. We had 2 kids. Like, it was just nuts. I became a stay-at-home mom, all this stuff. And then when my youngest started going to preschool, I just had an absolute total mommy breakdown, mommy meltdown, I called it at the time. I realized that, like, I just didn't know who the hell I was anymore. I mean, and I know that a lot of moms go through that. It's just a natural thing too. But for me, it was really, really compounded because I had given up this amazing life that I thought was amazing, that I had built for myself in the US. I had a really great career. I had friends. It's where I grew up. I'd moved from San Francisco, like it was a city that I loved living in, all this stuff, right, that I had identified myself with. I had identified myself with the job. I had identified myself with the friends, with all this stuff, with my old name, even. And then because life happened so fast, I just dove into life in the UK and my name changed and my country changed and all of these things that I previously identified with, I identified into new things then. So then I had this new name, and then I was working for a bit, then I became a mom, and so I identified with that, and I identified with all these things. And then it just came crashing down. When my youngest started going to preschool, I was all of a sudden left with even though I'm still a mom, I was left with this identity crisis, and it was terrifying. And I was starting to get anxiety attacks, and, I really questioned who I was. And because I didn't know who I was floundering. And because I was floundering, I started not to trust myself. Oh my gosh, can I be trusted? Oh my gosh, can I be, who am I? And I felt a real loss for who I was. And the cracks started showing up, the cracks started appearing. And now that I look back, I realize the cracks started appearing because the light needed to get out. There was a part of me that needed to get out. That light needed to get out. And so now, I wouldn't want to go through it ever again. Absolutely not. It was a horrible time, but it was such a needed time. There was something in me trying to come out. And that's the basis of why I started my business. And you know what? I felt like such a jack of all trades, master of none. Here I'd identified with all these jobs and all these things. And I just didn't know who I was. And I felt like I had all these random skills, but I couldn't see how they could all come together. And so I started getting into yoga, and I started getting into meditation, and I started deciding that I didn't want to identify with a job anymore. I wanted to identify with what was inside of me. I wanted to know what that light was. I wanted to know what the cracks were. I wanted to know what all of it. The good, bad, and the ugly. I wanted to know it all. And I went on this journey for 3 years, reading every spiritual book I could, doing yoga, doing meditation, really diving into trying to figure out, who am I? If a job can change, if friends can change, if a country can change, then those things aren't really me, right? So who am I? And it was terrifying. It was not easy work to try to figure out who I am. And I was scared. There was probably things I felt like I hid deep down, like, oh, I'm afraid of what's in there. What's in there, And it was so that the light could come out. And I started realizing over time that I had this amazing gift and I had this amazing light. And I started pulling on things I had learned from my education. I have a degree in management information systems and advertising. And I have loads and loads and buckets of years of being a product developer and a buyer, right? And so I culminated all these things, and I started going from my gut, and I started listening to my gut, and I started taking direction from who I am on the inside. And I created this business, and I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur, and I finally found a way to pull together all my gifts, right, under one roof to help other people shine their light too. And I don't think we talk about that enough. I don't think we talk about the dark stuff or the stuff that we go through that sucks, But, this is some of the work that I do with my one-on-one clients, right? It's not, here's how I look at it, right? There's this whole world out there in the online space that culminates to tell you, it conspires to tell you, do it this way, do it that way. They tell you the how. So we're always looking for, how do I do this? How do I do that? How do I do this? How do I do that? And there's always somebody that has some kind of an answer out there. And we spin our wheels and we get anxious. But I've come to realize that anxiety is actually an amazing thing, because when all that stuff is swirling out there, it creates anxiety. And when anxiety is created in your business, that's when the cracks start to appear so the light can come through even stronger. And the work that I do with my one-on-one clients, which I'm now doing in my one-on-one course, or the one-on-one work I do with my clients is the same thing that I'm doing in my course. That is, today is the last day to enroll for my course. But it's about the journey, okay? And it's not about the journey to a specific location or to a how. It's the journey of going within, okay? I know you've got a gift, and I know that you have a light to shine, right? And the work that I do with my clients, it's not telling you this is how you have to do it. It's about discovering who you are and bringing that to the surface. Because when you discover who you are and you bring that to the surface, that's you. That's authenticity. Okay, all the answers are already inside of you. You don't need to get the answers outside of you. The answers are already inside of you. And in my one-on-one work and in my course, I provide that space. I provide that space, excuse me, for you to discover who you are. I'm just a signpost. Just like all the spiritual books that I've read, Eckhart Tolle and Deepak Chopra and all of them, they say the same thing. I'm just a signpost. Your answers are already inside of you. And I'm here to tell you that your answers for how to make your business successful, those answers are already inside of you. Excuse me. And so in this course, I help you discover the amazingness that you are. Okay. And I help bring that to the surface. Right. And I guide you through this journey. Okay, because you already have the answers inside. And if you bring the answers inside and who you are to the surface, then your light shines brighter, right? And if your light shines brighter, your confidence grows, right? So that's a byproduct of your light shining brighter. Your confidence grows. You're showing up in this world with a clearer, more consistent, more cohesive message. And as a byproduct of that, you become more confident. And when you become more confident, your light shines brighter. And when your light shines brighter, more people see that light. And you become that much more attractive because you're standing in your unique shoes, right? And you're standing in your shoes in a confident way, and that's attractive, right? Then you start attracting the clients that you can serve the most. And as a byproduct of that, you start making more money in your business because you're giving your gifts. When you're giving your gifts, the money just comes in, right? I mean, I think we've all realized, and it's not in a forceful way. It's in a natural way, you know? And so the whole point of what I'm doing is I want people to know they already have the answers. I want to provide that space for them. And I want them to see through the cracks, right? See through the cracks of the anxiety, the fear, whatever else is spinning outside of here to realize you already have the answers inside. When you have the answers inside and you can discover that and you can bring it to the surface in a really authentic way that is just you, 100% you, then you show up in the world that way and you're more confident. And when that confidence shows, you attract more people. And when you attract more people, you can help more people. When you can help more people, you're giving your gifts, you're sharing your light, and you're not just creating light in your corner of the world, you're creating a better world for all of us, right? So by me helping you, you're creating a better world for me too. You're giving your gifts and you're out there. And you know what? As a byproduct of that, you're making more money, right? And if you make more money, you can do more good with that money. It's a domino effect. You know, you become more successful in your business. You can provide the space to hire people, which in turn then gives them money and gives them purpose, lets them shine their light too, right? And you get that freedom. You get more support, then you get that freedom. You get that freedom to do, you know, to show up at the baseball game or the dance recital, you know, and you get to sustain your business and keep doing that rather than having to go back to some 9-to-5 or whatever, you know? So yeah, you know what, if you're interested and you want to join me on this journey, actually, it's my course is called Branding with Kate, the 6-week path to effortless attraction. Because it starts to become effortless. When you show up as who you are in your own unique shoes, in your own unique way, things start to become more effortless. You aren't out there trying to figure out who is she and how is she doing it and how can I make that work for me. You're going from the inside rather than the outside. And that's why this work is so important for me. That's how I shine my light. I shine my light by helping you shine yours. So if you're interested in the course, it's a 6-week course. Today is the last day to enroll. And I release content every Sunday. You get the week to do it. and you get a private Facebook group with the other members that you can, sound things out with and run things by. And I'm in that group too, offering more one-on-one support, since this is the first time I've offered this work as a course as opposed to working with my one-on-one clients. So yeah. So anyway, sorry, that was a lot. But the reason why I'm doing this is because the crack showed up for me. And when the crack showed up, my light came out. And because my light has come out, I want to help you shine your light to come out too. And I want you to know that you already have the answers inside of you. I'm just a signpost and I'm providing the space, right? All right. Have a good weekend. Take care. Keep shining your light no matter what. I love you guys. And yeah, we'll catch up soon. But if you're interested in the course, I'll put the landing page here. And if you sign up, I look forward to starting the official journey on Monday. Okay. Take care. Bye.